Alright guys, part 2 of my HHN 22 video. I actually forgot a part. My dog's funny. I actually forgot a part of the street, and that was the walker section of the exit to The Walking Dead with the cool, station wagon with the Sophia stuff on the windshield, and the food, and the bus, and the loud music they were playing, which was pretty awesome. Walkers were pretty cool. They didn't have much out. Actually, I think the 2 nights I saw a total maybe 4 or 5 out in that area. But it was a cool area, and you could actually call that a stationary scare zone, which I would call it. So, but first, let's get into the houses. What did I think of the houses? All right, let's go. First one I went into on both nights, Saturday and Sunday, was Silent Hill, or Welcome to Silent Hill. And I gotta say, this house was pretty damn cool. I loved the sets in this house. When you first enter and you see the white truck, and then the ash is coming down, it's very cool. And then they had that woman, with the gun. And first off, I should say this before I start any further. I will have spoilers for these houses, so if you haven't gone and don't want to be spoiled, do not watch my review, because I will spoil some of the houses. But anyways, yeah, Silent Hill, a very cool room. Some of the rooms, had distinct smells to them. Especially that room with the burnt chick on the bed. Smelled like burned, rotten flesh and stuff. And holy shit, did those air blasts freaking overpower me. I'm walking through the hallway, and then they have this one where the lockers were. For many of you who went into there, the lockers that were shooting the air out, the compressed air. The last one, when I got towards the bathroom area, that one just completely shot out at me and almost blew my hat off. And I literally sat there and went, holy shit, and I grabbed my hat and threw it back on. But that was pretty cool. There could have been a little more characters in there. Because sometimes it kind of felt like there wasn't enough in there. But the sets were awesome, the lighting was awesome, the music was beautiful. The music was exactly from the movie. I love the nurses, of course. Pyramid Head was pretty cool, although they could have got a guy that looked a bit beefier, because the 2 times I went in there, he was kind of a skinny bastard. But it was cool seeing Pyramid Head. Finale was cool. House could have been a little bit longer for the size of the sound stage that they used it in, but for what they did, it was awesome. I liked Silent Hill. I gave it around a B+. B+ for Silent Hill. Next one we went into was the only other time that I jumped, and that is inside Gothic, which was one of my favorite houses of the night. I loved this house. From the moment you step in, first of all, when I stepped into that house, I completely geeked out, because those of you who've been to Universal when it originally opened, like I have, know of the Ghostbusters Spooktacular. And when I walked into that Gothic house, there is a barrel, kind of like a wheelbarrow looking type thing with like a gargoyle, and it kind of looks like it has a sheet over it. I literally sat there and holy shit, that's one of the gargoyles from the Ghostbusters Spooktacular show, and that just completely got me excited even more for the house. And I noticed there was a second one. I believe it's just the head that's like sticking straight up on the right when you enter there. But the facade was beautiful. Great characters. The costumes were amazing. The one room when you're walking and you can completely look down to the left of you and you can see just the church pews and everything was absolutely amazing. Great scares in that house. It was cool seeing the bell ringers that kind of look like Quasimodo. That was a cool area. The other area, too, where you walk out and it looks like you're on the side and you're out in the middle of the night with the stars and everything. That was pretty cool. In the candle room with the flying gargoyle. And there was a point at the end where this bastard comes out of nowhere. And that motherfucker got me good. I jumped. I literally jumped. And that was the only other time that I jumped was in that house. And I was like, oh, they did their job. this house, I love it. It's awesome. From the sets, the special effects, the characters in the house, major props to you guys. That house definitely gets an A. Absolutely loved it. Then after that, we moved on to Dead End. Now, I know this is a lot of people's favorite house, and I think I hyped it a little bit too much because when I went through it, I liked it, but it was really cool. I admit that. I liked the facade. The facade was awesome. Absolutely beautiful facade. The cool scene with the ghost on the stairwell, that when she comes down, you can see her with her neck twisted and broken and stuff. And the way they used the vortex tunnel, but didn't really work this year because it didn't really make you feel disoriented, which is, I understand why they did it, because they wanted to make it like, the ghosts and stuff. Some of the rooms were really cool, like they used the pepper ghost effect, which is awesome. But I will say, I just wasn't really feeling that house. I don't know why. It was cool, but I just didn't really feel scared or anything inside that house. So I'd have to give it a B plus. I know a lot of people probably hit me for that piece. Yeah, the walk up on the street. You didn't like Dead End, motherfucker. But it was all right. I think I hyped it a little too much, and I read a little too much into it, and I was a little hyped for it. And it kind of, when you hype something up like that, and then you go into it, it just kind of drops you down. But overall, it is a great house. Don't get me wrong. The house is amazing. Special effects are amazing. Sets are amazing. Characters are amazing. It's just, I just overhyped it a little bit too much, and it kind of lowered everything when I went in the two times. And I do like the library scene with the floating books, another Ghostbuster reference, which I thought was pretty cool. So, next house I went to was, we went over to, down all the way at the end. It was still a little bit light out, so we didn't go into The Walking Dead because we wanted it to be dark out. So we went into the back and went into the House of Horrors. Now, I have read and seen video of people absolutely trashing this house, and I was kind of nervous going into it because I wasn't sure if I was going to like it. I wasn't sure if it's going to be shitty or not, but I will tell you this. All those who have hated on this house, that's what I have to say to you. I'm sorry, but that's what I have to say. Because I absolutely loved this fucking house. I don't care what anybody says. If they thought the sets were shitty or the costumes were shitty, I fucking love this house. First of all, it gave you those shitty sets kind of gave you that old-fashioned feeling of when these movies were. I mean, you're not going to get elaborate scenes for these classic monsters unless they were reimagined like they did in 2009. What they did with some of the effects in this house are awesome. The Frankenstein effect where it looks like he's breaking through, that was fucking awesome. I'm sorry, that is awesome. And out of all the houses I went in the whole night on Saturday and the Sunday, on the 6th and the 7th, this house had the most screams I've heard of people screaming inside this house. I just thought it worked so perfectly. Yeah, the costumes weren't the best. Yeah, the sets weren't the best. But the feeling that I got when I went in that house with the not-so-good costumes or the not-so-good sets gave me that feeling of the old-fashioned horror movies. Like, if this house was done back in that time, when those movies came out, this is kind of how the sets would look, Well, minus a few of the cool effects and stuff, but it just gave me that feeling. The Wolfman scene was cool. I had these women in front of me when I first went in the house. They absolutely jumped like 5 feet in the air when that damn Wolfman came out. The Dracula scene, and I love the feeling of it, just the hallways feeling cramped, because that gives the characters more area to get up in your face and scare the complete shit out of you. The lightning effect I thought was cool. I will say this, that it did, Dead Exposure still did the effect right, and Dead Exposure still my favorite house ever, but for what they did in this house, it was really cool. It was loud, people were screaming, it had really cool special effects. I love the blue, the blue lighting, and I just don't understand why some people did not like this house and they absolutely completely trashed it. Maybe it was just when I went that it was a lot better and they made stuff better, but I would, if I were you, I would give this house a second chance. I thought it was really cool.